What if DC made a snap instead? I have this video in here, and I think that it can be cool, because we know that when you think about Marvel Comics, you also think about DC Comics. And we are in Marvel Snap, and I know a lot of people have thought, oh, what if Batman was in here, or Superman, or whatever. So let's see what this dude has to say about what if DC made a snap. He's called Numbers795. So let's check it out, brother.
So, Marvel Snap has been taking over the internet. We've had just so many ads, so many new content creators, and for good reason. It's super fun. And everyone who's been here long enough on this channel knows that I like to make custom cards. I have a whole series of making Legends of Runeterra custom cards, which you can check out right here. But I decided that, you know, I thought it'd be pretty fun to try making some Marvel Snap custom cards. But, you know, Marvel Snap has a really big history of comic book characters, and I know, like, 8 of them. But something that I do know kind of well is DC Comics. So here we are.
Oh, so you are a DC boy, brother. That is cool. My favorite superhero, and I know this is basic as fuck, but it's Batman, brother. Batman is my favorite superhero, and I believe that nothing in Marvel, not a snap, in Marvel comes even close to Batman, brother. Batman is fucking awesome. And what can I say?
Going through a little what-if scenario. Take Marvel Snap and make an alternate universe where DC Comics was the one that...
What should Batman do in Marvel Snap? Oh, that is a hard question, brother. He should be something that is not a big body, because in DC you have big stuff like cosmic power, and Batman is just a dude that punches people. So he should be something like a 2 or 3 cost, right? But he should do something cool, like a control, something with control, because Batman is a detective, you know, so maybe you know what they are going to play, or you block the play, or you move the play, something like that. You reduce power for something, add a Batarang to your hand, and then use it to destroy it. Oh, that is a cool idea. That is a fucking cool idea, for sure. I can see that happening.
That got this game instead of Marvel. And so to start this off, we have the man. Is he a bird? Is he a plane? No, it is Superman. I made him a 6 energy, 12 power. At the end of turn 6, if this is in your deck, play it to a location you're losing, ignoring other cards and locations. Unlike my series of turning Yu-Gi-Oh cards into Legends. So this is
different from Captain Marvel. Why? If this is in your deck, oh, so this is like a superpower M'Baku. This is a superpower M'Baku. This is the real M'Baku. Superman is the real M'Baku.
Tarot cards. I really don't have anything to base these off of other than just their powers in the comic universe. And so Superman is a man who swoops in at the last minute and saves the day, right? That's kind of like the most Superman thing about Superman. So I figured, what if he was nowhere to be...
M'Baku. Chad was telling me this effect is close to M'Baku. It's close, no. It is the same fucking thing, basically. But if you draw the Superman, then you have to play him from hand, and then the ability is stupid. You would have to play him with Logio, you know, something like that. Sorry, meant Silk, not Blink. Let me check out Silk. And what is this? Silk description. When anyone plays a card here, move this to another location. Oh, that is fucking cool. That is fucking cool. And 2/5. Oh, brother, I like that. Move the last card you played here. Oh, so these 2 cards come off the movement archetype. And the movement archetype needs a lot of love. So, yes, this is cool. I think these cards are cool. Yes, M'Baku needs at least 3 power, brother. At least give 3 power to M'Baku. Do something about him, because he sucks.
He's seen. He was in your deck. He's not even if he's in your hand, just straight up from your deck. And he just comes in and saves the day at the last minute. He seems pretty similar to Captain Marvel. The difference here is that he's not moving on the board to a place you're guaranteed to win. I think guaranteed to win effects are really hard to balance. Now, to go
exactly, because you could be, he offers 12 power, but you could be losing a location like they played. Of course, I know that I am comparing this to Marvel Snap, but I don't have any other frame of reference, and I know this would be in a DC universe. But let's say they play something like Shuri, Red Skull, and they have a 30-point bullshit in the board, and you are losing by 30 points. You aren't going to win the location. So if Superman flies in there because it's a location you are losing, you will still lose the fucking location. It doesn't matter.
Over the balancing of these cards a little bit. Marvel Snap is really focused on a high variance play rate. What that means is every game should feel different and unique. So you have a lot of effects that have these like random or like kind of different effects that you wouldn't see in standard card games, which is fine. It's a game that's maybe not meant to be super competitive. Maybe it's more tailored towards a casual audience. I think that like setting things up for an archetype would be really cool. And I think the like from deck, like forcing things from your hand or on the field back into the deck to come out and do something on the lines of something like Jubilee and Lockjaw, but maybe just cards that actually benefit from that effect would be really cool. So the plan here is that it's going to be the entire Justice League. The next card that we have is Batman. Batman is on reveal.
Batman is the best superhero on the fucking world. You can't deny this fact. I don't want to hear it, brother. Don't add me. Don't say anything to me. Batman is the best fucking superhero, brother. On reveal, gains +1 power for each card your opponent played while this was in your hand. I don't know why this is related to Batman, in what way, but I believe he's going to say it, so let's hear him out.
You'll gain +1 power for each card your opponent played while this was in your hand. So the way I envision this is that if you get Batman on turn 1, and then by turn 5 your opponent has played 4 cards, Batman's gonna get +4. Reason for this being is that Batman is one of those characters that historically...
Well, then he sucks. Then Batman sucks, because right now in Marvel Snap you have Abomination, which is a 5/9, and Abomination sucks. You know, and has no ability. It's just a 5/9 with no ability, and Abomination sucks. So if you are going to give Batman 5 energy for, I don't know, 8 power, and it won't be enough, 7 power, and you have to draw in earlier, he just sucks. Very big dick. Unless you give him +2 power instead. Maybe that way it could work. Or lower his energy cost.
If he has enough prep time, he can win any fight. So, you know, if he's...
Yes, if it is a Su deck and the opponent plays a lot of cards, yes. But what if they don't play anything in turn 1 and turn 2 and they play 1 card and 1 card in 3 and 4? Then you suck, you know.
Sitting in your hand just watching what the opponent's doing is, you know, calculating, running simulations, he can eventually grow to be powerful enough to beat any single opponent. I kind of thought that that'd be a fun idea, but sure. One thing about Batman that's a little unfortunate is that if you don't actually draw him early in the game, an effect like this could be really bad. If you draw him on like turn 5 or 6, then he's only going to gain like 1 or 2 power at most. Unless someone's on that like Kazoo Miracle deck, then Batman's probably not going to be super strong. Something like Batman would need a tutor. And who better to tutor Batman than the boy wonder himself, Robin? On reveal, draw a 5-cost card from your deck. He's a 2 energy, 2 power. I didn't want a card.
Synergies, and I could see this working, of course, with the synergy. Is fucking cool. But Batman needs a little buff, brother, in there.
That was just gonna...
But again, numbers are... when you are designing... numbers are not that important, you know, like the power or the energy. That can be tweaked later. In the design phase, you want to design effects, abilities. So I'm not gonna focus too much on the power or energy or whatever, because that is tweaked later when you actually play with the cards and see what works and what doesn't work. But in the design phase, you only focus on the abilities first, you know. So maybe the ability for Batman is what we are showcasing here, and the numbers can be tweaked later, you know.
tutor only Batman. Though that could be kind of cool. Maybe I'll revisit this card sometime. But I figured that just having a card that could tutor any 5-cost card would be really cool. He's Batman's sidekick, so it would make sense that he'd be the thing to tutor him to your hand early in the game. You know, if you're winning on turn 2, you'll get this, and then Batman will see all of your cards played. And then Batman will, of course, be able to win. So next up, we have Green Arrow. Now, Green Arrow, kind of like the counterpart to Hawkeye. I might get some...
Brother, the Arrow show was fucking cool, right? I never watched it all seasons, but I watched like the first 2 seasons. In the first one, he is against the Black Archer, and on the second season against Deathstroke. Those were the 2 seasons that I watched, and it was fucking awesome, brother. The Arrow show is fucking cool. I hate his little sister. She's annoying as fuck, but every show has an annoying character like that. And my mom loves the show because she thinks that the dude that plays Arrow is hot as fuck, and he is, let's be honest. And I watched the Green Arrow show with my mom. It was fucking cool, brother.
Shit for that in the comments. Anyway, I designed him to be such. A 1 energy, 1 power. On reveal, the next card your opponent plays here loses 3 power. Hawkeye would gain 2 or 3 power. Green Arrow would force them to lose said power. From my understanding, Green Arrow doesn't actually have any powers. He's just really good with a bow. I think the like bow and arrow characters having this like when something is played at this location effect would be a really cool archetype. Okay, so next up, we have Wonder Woman. A lot of the DC comic book characters have these powers where they're just like, they can fly, they have super strength, and it's hard to find a good way to like differentiate that in the cards. But Wonder Woman, I decided to have on reveal +1 power for each card in your hand. It works similar to Devil Dinosaur would work, except Devil Dinosaur is an ongoing effect that you need a lot of cards in your hand, as to where Wonder Woman needs to see them on play, and then after that point it doesn't matter. The most that she...
So if you don't play anything on turn 1 and you draw it on turn 2, you will have what, 4 or 5 cards in hand. So she will be a 2/5, something like that, with no drawback. You have Lisa that has a pretty strong drawback. So this can be again. I know that I said I didn't wanna talk about the numbers and more about the ability, but this is the ability on reveal. Meaning it is an on reveal. It can be pretty good. I like Wonder Woman because she seems strong.
She can be, I think, is going to be 8 power, because you got to figure that there's cards that let you draw more on play. So if you play something and then play her and you had a full hand, you can be at 7 cards. 7 + 1, that's 8. So she'd be a 2-mana 8, but that requires you to have a full hand and to play her at some point past turn 2. I still think that she's a very strong card, but I think that I made it balanced enough. The other problem with balancing, cool. I guess I'll mention this here, is that you have so many random interactions, and then you also have the locations, which are also, not only are they random what you get, but also...
Brother, I'll be honest, I don't know, I don't know for sure, but I know for sure there is a copycat. Oh, I have said this already. When a game launches and the game is really popular and it is a cool revolutionary game, there always comes the copycats, brother. It always happens. It happened with Dora. You got League of Legends, you got Heroes of the Storm, you got Dora 2. It happened with World of Warcraft. Of course, every fucking game that tried to kill World of Warcraft was killed instead. You have a bullshit that tried to do it with Hearthstone. You have the Auto Chess. Auto Chess was a custom map in Dora 2. And then it was Dora Underlords. Then it's the Auto Chess on the mobile app and TFT. So TFT is a copycat of the Auto Chess. And TFT is the main game right now that people play for that type of game. You have the Vampire Survivors, then they copycat with Soulstone Survivors. So when a game is cool, is fun, is revolutionary, you can expect copycats. It is obvious that it's going to happen. And now that Marvel Snap launched, and it is a new card game with a unique mechanic that no other card game has, and is really popular, you can be for sure, you can be certain for sure that there is a copycat coming. Will that game be good? We don't know. We'd be even more bullshit than Marvel Snap in monetization. We don't know. And the question that pertains to this, is DC doing that? We don't know. So I can say DC is going to make a Marvel Snap, but I can say there is someone out there that is making a Marvel Snap copycat. I am 100% certain of this. Now, is DC going to create a version of Marvel Snap with DC characters, or a completely new game that doesn't relate on the gameplay to Marvel Snap? I don't know, but I hope so, because I love DC characters. I already told you that Batman is my favorite one, so I would hope that they do it. Please do it, but I don't know. But what I do know is that a Marvel Snap copycat is going to spawn sometime in the future. I guarantee it, brother.
In what order they appear and which ones you get per game. So it's really hard to balance some cards, and it's like, do you balance cards around the possibility of this one location, or do you just balance them as far as like if locations didn't matter? I kind of went with the idea of as if locations don't matter, but feel free to let me know if you think that that is totally off base and these should be balanced in some different way. The next up, we have the Flash.
I will check that link later, but is that like from some time ago, or it is something new that is going to happen? But I have the link in here and I will check it out later, my brother. The Flash, oh brother, the Flash is my second one in the DC universe, because the Flash stories are fucking cool because of all this dimension traveling and time traveling, and the Flash stories are fucking cool, brother. I love them.
Flash. 3 energy, 4 power. Each turn this card can move to a location it hasn't been to yet. So
brother, to me, this is the best design you have presented this far. I love what you did with this card. This is the best one so far. This effect is fucking cool, my brother. I love it.
Imagine you play Flash on the far left location. Next turn, you can play him on the far right. Next turn, you can play him in the middle. After that turn, he cannot move anywhere other than through other cards' effects. But effectively, he can move twice. I know that there's a lot of cards that can get a benefit from him, but he currently doesn't actually get any benefit from moving himself. So it's just the fact that he can zip around, which makes sense because he's got the speed force and whatever. All right, so next up, we have Aquaman, a hero who is quite often mocked in the DC fandom. I made him a 4 energy, 3 power. On reveal, fill both sides of this location with fish. What is a fish, you may ask? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because I actually made that too. Just a 1 energy, 1 power fish. You know, something smells fishy.
So if you play Aquaman into a empty location for both players, you win the location instantly. But maybe there is something there already, of your opponent plays something there in the same turn you play Aquaman. I like this design too. I think this is fucking cool. So the last 2 cards have been fucking cool. The Flash and the Aquaman, I like them both. Cool design, brother.
Fishy here. Thought it'd be kind of funny. Let's just talk about the implications of Aquaman. So this is effectively gonna be like a locking down a location. It is a little different because it's turn 4, so your opponent had to have played nothing, and then they get 4 fish there. And then also, if your opponent is on a concept like Kazoo, I think you end up losing in that situation. So there are ways that this
can play the Kazar that buffs the ones, or they can play what is the other bullshit? Blue Marvel, and that buffs the ones too. But I like this card, brother. I like this card.
And backfire on you. Also, if either player's on Killmonger, then this just has no value. But I think that it is pretty on brand for Aquaman. And yeah, it's really good with cards like Patriot, where these fish have no power. So there are some ways that you can get use out of this outside of just locking your opponent out of a location. And again, there are ways that this can backfire on you. But next we have Hawkgirl.
Exactly. I like
now,
that
Hawkgirl is known for being very aggressive in the comics and in any of the shows. So I made her a 4 energy, 6 power. On reveal, at the end of this turn, this card does battle with the highest power enemy.
Brother, I will tell you. In this artwork, she looks hot as fuck, brother. I don't care if she has wings and has that fucking face. I don't know if that is a mask or that her face is like that. If she has a beak, I don't give a fuck, because that body is hot as fuck. I will smash, brother. You know this, dude.
Destroy the one with less power. So she's kind of a double-edged sword, because she's 4/6, which is pretty strong. If you play her on an empty field, it does nothing. If your opponent has, let's say, Quicksilver while she's in play, she's going to do battle with the strongest thing. Let's say they only have Quicksilver. Quicksilver has 2 power. She has 6. She will win. That will die. It's very much like Warrior's Fall. I think that this is a really strong card. There really aren't a lot of effects like this in the game. I love, like, cards like this because it actually can, like, define a deck. Or it could even define an archetype. I wanted to make Hawkman, what is he called? Any of the other hawk people, any birds, you could have something to this effect. We keep talking about, like...
Yes, this is a storm because you are going to play this in locations where you know you are going to destroy something, you know? You won't play her in a place where there is something bigger than her. So if this was every turn, at the end of the turn it happens, then it can be counterable because then the opponent plays something bigger next turn. But it only happens on reveal, and on reveal you won't be an idiot. You will play it to your advantage, you know.
Making archetypes off of this. And so the last card is something that I think would be a really cool archetype to make. I don't know how people are going to feel about this. Because I think it's a really cool concept, but I think it's going to be the hardest one to balance of any of them. And that is going to be Hal Jordan. I didn't use Green Lantern, and I'll get into that in a second, but Hal Jordan at the end of each...
Because there are multiple Green Lanterns, and you want to give every Green Lantern their own card, you know, not make a Green Lantern card. I understand that, and I believe that is cool. At the end of each turn, create a random energy construct in hand, and now he will show you several energy constructs. I believe so.
Each turn, create a random energy construct in hand. He's a 3 energy, 3 power, and he's going to create something in hand at the end of each turn. I figured this made sense because in the comics, you know, he can use his ring, and he can just create anything with his mind. I believe...
Yo, Click, brother, how you doing, my dude? I hope everything's cool, brother.
The terminology is he can create anything that he actually understands. But then, like, you have things where they create, like, a mecha suit and a literal plane. So, like, I'm not really sure the actual rules here. But let's get into what some of these constructs are.
Sure,
so first up, we have the hand construct. So just so you know, all the constructs are going to be 2 energy and 3 power. I just feel that for now, that makes the most sense. So they're all going to have some kind of effect. So the hand construct is on reveal, move the enemy with the highest power to the right. That is probably going to be the strongest one of all of these. And I'm sure if like there was a card to balance or change, it's going to be this one. Problem is I didn't really have any better ideas for the hand construct. So if you have any better ideas, please leave those in the comments down below. Also make sure to hit that like button and subscribe because I will be doing more custom cards of some fashion in some game. So if you're into that, definitely let us know. So next up, we have the chain construct. Now, the chain construct is going to have an ongoing effect of enemy cards cannot move from this location. Because if you've ever seen it in the comics, they always use this chain to lock down or like tie someone up. Next one up we have is barrier construct. On reveal, friendly units here cannot be destroyed. I'm kind of realizing now that I said on reveal and not ongoing. I think this could go either way. I think that it's either an on reveal, things can't be destroyed anymore, or it can just be for this turn. Opponent. And then the final card that we have. That is a cool effect that maybe we need. I don't know, on some way. Because armor makes it that you can destroy the opponent's bullshit. And that's make it balanced because only protecting your stuff might be OP. But in this case, you have to play something first that is a Green Lantern. And then you get the stuff to protect your own stuff. Is going to be the sofa construct. I couldn't do this without making at least one fun joke card. So this is a card that is going to ongoing friendly units here have +1 power. It's kind of like Captain America, but the difference here is that this is a randomly generated card that you have to get off of Hal Jordan. So I think overall the constructs are the toughest cards to balance around because they are things that you're going to get randomly throughout the game. And Hal Jordan is a 3 cost, so you're only going to be able to play them on turns 4, 5, and 6. Will Marvel Snap's competition be called DC Nuts? Stop. No. Get out. Stop it. No. Well, I hope that you enjoyed our little adventure into the world of what if DC Snap I had a lot of fun making these. I really hope you enjoyed them. I would love to make more, but I would just like to know your suggestion, your comments, how you guys feel about this. So make sure that you hit that subscribe.
Brother, I think this is cool. This is a cool idea. It is fun to just think how the game would be if DC did these characters. I love the Flash one. It was probably my favorite. And then the Aquaman one is really fucking cool. And I like the Green Lantern too. The other ones I didn't like as much, but it is cool that you are doing this, my brother. It is cool that you are doing this. So yes, I like the video. Numbers795, thank you very much for this video, my dude. It was cool, for sure.